This is the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. I am Manoj Mainkar, and in the next half hour, I'll bring to you news updates from India and around the world, awareness videos on coronavirus by Government of India, yoga on radio, and a lot more. We'll begin with the news updates.
This is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio, the news read by Kaushik Rai. The nation will today join Prime Minister Narendra Modi's call to switch off lights of their homes at 9 p.m. for 9 minutes and light up diyas, candles or mobile flashlights to display the nation's collective spirit to defeat the coronavirus. In a video message a couple of days back, the Prime Minister had said, "We will experience the superpower of light clearly illuminating the common purpose we are all fighting for." He said, "Amidst the darkness spread by the corona pandemic, we must continuously progress towards light and hope." He said, "This is certainly the time for a lockdown and we most certainly are confined to our homes, but none of us are alone." Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday chaired a joint meeting of the empowered groups constituted for planning and ensuring implementation of COVID-19 response activities in the country. He reviewed countrywide preparedness regarding availability of hospitals, proper isolation and quarantine facilities, as well as disease surveillance, testing and critical care training. The Prime Minister also directed the concerned groups and officials to ensure sufficient production, procurement and availability of all essential medical equipment such as personal protection equipment, PPEs, masks, gloves and ventilators. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump held a detailed discussion on the coronavirus crisis on Saturday and resolved to deploy the full strength of the Indo-US strategic partnership to fight the global pandemic. Mr. Modi also had separate telephonic conversations with Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro and Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez Perez Castellón, during which the leaders deliberated upon the situation arising out of the COVID-19 pandemic. "We had good discussions and agreed to deploy the full strength of the Indo-US partnership to fight COVID-19, Mr. Modi wrote on Twitter on his extensive telephonic conversation with President Trump. With Brazilian President Bolsonaro, Mr. Modi discussed the global situation in the wake of the pandemic. The Indian Prime Minister assured the Brazilian President of all possible support in this difficult hour, and the two leaders said their officials would remain in regular touch with respect to the COVID-19 situation and its emerging challenges, the Prime Minister's office said. In his conversation with Pedro Sanchez Perez Castellón, the President of the government, which is equivalent to Prime Minister of Spain, Mr. Modi discussed the global challenge posed by COVID-19. Prime Minister Modi conveyed his deepest condolences to Mr. Perez Castellón for the tragic loss of lives in Spain and offered his prayers for the speedy recovery of those still suffering from the disease. New Delhi has said it has seen the intemperate remarks by Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan on India. In response to a query, MES spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that with regard to the Indian Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, it is very clear that Pakistan has no locus standi whatsoever on any aspect pertaining to it. He said, "Repeated attempts to interfere in India's internal affairs will not make its untenable claims of any more acceptable." Mr. Kumar said if Pakistan wants to contribute to the welfare of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, it can do so best by ending cross-border terrorism and desisting from its campaign of violence and false propaganda. The number of coronavirus cases mounted to 445 in the national capital Delhi on Saturday, with 59 fresh cases being reported, according to Delhi Health Department. The total includes 301 people who took part in a religious congregation of the Tablighi Jamaat in Nizamuddin last month. Among the fresh cases, 42 were from the Nizamuddin area. The health department said in a statement that 15 people have been discharged and one has migrated out of the country. In an online briefing on Wednesday, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said 536 people were admitted to different hospitals and 1,810 sent to quarantine facilities from the Nizamuddin area where the religious congregation took place. The civic authorities have carried out mass sanitization and a disinfection drive in Nizamuddin over the last few days using drones and other measures. Financial support continues to pour in from the sporting fraternity in the country's fight against COVID-19, with Hockey India on Saturday donating an additional rupees 75 lakh towards the PM Cares Fund to take its total contribution to 1 crore. Hockey India had earlier donated 25 lakhs towards the cause on the 1st of April. The decision to donate an additional 75 lakh rupees was taken by the Hockey India Executive Board. Ace golfer Anirban Lahiri also donated a sum of rupees 7 lakhs to the PM Cares Fund. In these grave times that we face today, I urge my fans and brethren to join me in doing our bit to support those in most need. I have pledged rupees 7 lakh to the PM Cares Fund and support 100 families on the Zomato Feeding India initiative, Lahiri tweeted. A gang battle in Mexico has left at least 19 people dead in the northern state of Chihuahua, officials said. At least 5 armed clashes have occurred in the Madera community so far this year, local authorities have said. According to early reports, the bloodshed occurred Friday evening when alleged hitmen of the Gente Neva group, part of the Sinaloa cartel, were driving on a dirt road in Madera. They were ambushed by men from the opposing group La Linea, part of the Juarez cartel. Responding, authorities seized 18 long firearms, 1 shot, 2 vehicles, and 2 grenades at the site of the clash. And with that, we end this news bulletin.
India is at a critical stage in its fight against coronavirus as fears of community transmissions rise. During its lockdown, frontline workers are still going out every day to win what one doctor described as a war India can't afford to lose. In this section, we bring to you the best of advices from doctors all over India talking about various aspects of coronavirus. Here is one such doctor talking to you.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Chandni Pawar, posted at a government hospital in Solan, Himachal Pradesh. As everybody is aware about the coronavirus pandemic that has spread across the world, there are a few things that you should know about the coronavirus. It is a highly contagious virus and can infect people of all age groups. But population at high risk includes people above 60 years of age and people with comorbidities like diabetes, hypertension, cancer, immunodeficient states like liver disease, kidney disease, or heart disease. The government is doing their part, and we need to do our part in order to control the spread of the infection. Flu OPDs are being made in every hospital, so you should know who should visit a flu OPD. Any person who has a travel history from foreign in past 1 month and who are symptomatic, like they have high-grade fever, cough, and difficulty in breathing, should visit a flu OPD. If you don't have a travel history in past 1 month, but you have features like high-grade fever, cough, and difficulty in breathing, you should visit a flu OPD. If you have running nose or sore throat, but no fever or no difficulty in breathing, you should stay at home. If you only have cough with no fever and no difficulty in breathing, you should stay at home. All around the world, the specialists have agreed that there is only one solution, and that is social distancing. So be vigilant. Stay at home, wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer frequently. Practice social distancing and avoid crowded places. Do not hide your travel history. Report to your nearest health facility in case of symptoms and be patient. Help your medical facilities by staying at home. Do not panic, follow rules. It is for your safety and our safety and for the better future of our country. Thank you.
If the current COVID-19 outbreak has got you feeling stressed out and anxious, then a calming yoga flow can definitely help. We care for your well-being and therefore, we bring for our listeners Yoga on Radio. Practice some easy asanas with Yogacharya Surakshit Goswami and keep yourself healthy and rejuvenated.
Dear listeners, today we will practice Bhramari Pranayam. Bhramari Pranayam, or the humming bee breath, focuses attention on internal sounds. This pranayam is very effective in calming your mind. It removes mental fickleness and helps you overcome tension, anger, anxiety, frustration, depression, lack of sleep, confusion, laziness, and migraine attacks. It also helps to control high blood pressure, cardiac diseases, and throat ailments and rejuvenates the body. Practice this asana to get a vision of the divine light in Ajna Chakra. This makes the mind calm and introspective, helps in meditation, and increases memory. Precautions: keep your voice low and melodious.
Sit in a meditative posture. Keep your back and neck in a straight line and close your eyes. Close both your ears with your thumbs so that you are not disturbed by external noise. Keep the 2 index fingers on the forehead and close both eyes by putting the remaining 3 fingers of each hand on them. First, exhale the air slowly. Then, inhale as much air as possible. Now, exhale slowly, making a humming sound like a bee. Making the humming sound in one exhalation is called one chakra or cycle of Bhramari Pranayam. Focus your attention on this sound. Practice 10 to 12 cycles of this pranayam.
Pace of breathing. Inhale as much air as possible and exhale by making a low sound. Continue to breathe.
During lockdown in India, many citizens are voluntarily participating in creating awareness and helping the less privileged.
As I speak, a koel sings from a mulberry tree visible from my balcony. The branches of the tree awed by ripe, dark red fruits. I wish I could pluck them in a time of self isolation. My eyes wander. A thin brown dog rests in the sun, its tail swaying. A cat jumps across a balcony, sniffing. If you see a bird or animal near you, please share some of your food with it. Namaste. Greetings to the listeners of the General Overseas Service of EST. I am Sami Ahmed Khan. I write speculative fiction and also teach literature at Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi. Two of my novels are Red Jihad and Aliens in Delhi. Aliens in Delhi talks about an alien invasion of India's capital. My latest publication is a story titled 15004, which revolves around an alien virus which infects the people of this world and makes them turn on each other. As I speak, I see sparkling clear skies lit by crisp sunshine. At a distance, wisps of clouds prepare to rise to the heavens. The streets are strangely empty. The air is clean and there is no noise pollution, no hustle bustle of human life. But isn't this how the apocalypse might begin? Is this the silence before the storm? As I sit in my cocoon of privilege and safety, I ponder over where this virus might have come from, a fictional thought experiment that helps me pass the time. Coronavirus may be natural or not. Perhaps this virus is actually from a lab, except this time this lab is not located on planet Earth. Perhaps this is an alien invasion, one that has extraterrestrial roots, and we are the targets. Now, I'll share what prompted this thought to enter my head. When H.G. Wells wrote the most famous of all invasion novels in 1897, The War of the Worlds, the invading Martians were defeated not by guns and tanks and aircrafts, but by the indigenous pathogens of planet Earth, that is, microorganisms, bacteria, germs, and viruses, etc., which proved too much for the aliens' immunity. Maybe this time the Martians have returned to seek vengeance on us, and that too by using the same techniques of war which planet Earth had unleashed on these Martians during their first visit to Earth more than a century ago. To reiterate, what if the coronavirus is an alien weapon? And with this horrifying thought, this fiction ends. This virus may be an alien threat, but how do we tackle such invasions? By doing what we have always done, by forgetting all differences of race, caste, class, religion, nationality, color, ethnicity, gender, etc., and by coming together as human beings. Stay home, stay safe. Please lend a helping hand to those less fortunate. I see most of you might have closed your doors, but all of you have opened your hearts for the needy. Let us share our resources with our fellow human beings in such trying times. Wishing you all health and happiness in the times of COVID-19. We shall overcome. Keep listening to All India Radio.
Namaste friends. Jai Jinendra. I am Dr. Arihant Kumar Jain. First of all, my heartiest greetings to all on the occasion of Bhagwan Mahavir Janma Kalyanak Festival, the birth anniversary of Lord Mahavira, which we also known as Bhagwan Mahavir Jayanti. Lord Mahavira was more of a reformer and propagator of Jainism, an existing religious order. Jainism, traditionally known as Jain Dharma, is the oldest religion of the world. It also called Shramana Dharma in ancient times. There were 24 Tirthankaras in Jain religion, where Bhagwan Rishabhdeva is the first Tirthankara and Bhagwan Mahavir is the 24th and last Tirthankara of Jain religion. He is only this world's most recent Tirthankara. He is also known by the other 5 names like Vardhamana, Sanmati, Veer, Ativir and Mahavira. Lord Mahavira was born on the 13th day of the bright half of the month Chaitra Shukla Triyodashi in year 599 before Christ. His father, King Siddharth, was the assembly chief Gananayak of the First Republic of India, Vaishali Kundagram. His mother was Trishla, the daughter of King Chetak. Lord Mahavira attained salvation at the age of 72 in Pavapur. Bhagwan Mahavira taught the idea of supremacy of human life and stressed the importance of the positive attitude of life. His message of ahimsa, non-violence, satya, truth, acharya, non-stealing, brahmacharya, celibacy, and aparigraha, non-possession, is full of universal compassion. Lord Mahavira also preached the gospel of universal love, emphasizing that all living beings, irrespective of their size, shape, and form, how spiritually developed or underdeveloped, are equal and we should love and respect them. In the matters of spiritual advancement, as envisioned by Mahavira, both men and women are on an equal footing. Mahavira preached that the Samyak Darshan, the right faith, Samyak Jnana, right knowledge, and Samyak Charitra, right conduct, together is the real path to attain the liberation from karmic matters of oneself. Some of the principles of Lord Mahavira are summarized as follows. First, we talk about ahimsa, the non-violence. Lord Mahavira gave the world the sutra of ahimsa paramo dharma for world peace. He said that the world is terrified of hatred, fear, and violence. We see that it has not benefited humanity. Only those who hold the qualities of forgiveness, friendship, peace, kindness, decency, service, protection, truth, and cooperation, etc., can follow ahimsa dharma by renouncing the qualities of fear, enmity, selfishness, anger, and cruelty. Non-violence is the climax of forgiveness, but forgiveness is the quality of the brave. The another principle of Bhagwan Mahavir is Anekantavada. It is one of the basic principles of Mahavira that encourages acceptance of relativism and pluralism. According to the doctrine, truth and reality are perceived differently from different points of view, and no single point of view is a complete truth. Thirdly, we talk about aparigraha. Aparigraha is one of the teachings of Mahavira. It is also one of the 5 vows that both householders and ascetics must observe. This Jain vow is the principle of limiting one's possessions and limiting one's desire. The 12-year period of spiritual practice of Bhagwan Mahavir Swami was the basis of his personal achievement of omniscience and status of Arihanta. After his enlightenment, the remaining 30 years of his life were devoted to the welfare of the living world. During this period, he revolutionized human thought and shattered many long-established misconceptions and curses of traditional dogmas. His deeds and achievements in the field of human welfare and upliftment. He broke the established tradition of depriving women in general and men of lower castes from the formal study of scriptures and indulging in many religious activities. He was bold enough to initiate people from this section of society into his religious order. He provided equal rights and opportunities to all for study and practice of religion. He successfully rooted out the caste system in his area of influence at social and spiritual level. Under his influence, the established norms of social status based on caste, wealth, power, and grandeur were shattered, and new norms of social status based on virtues and moral and ethical values were established. He used Ardha Magdhi Prakrit, the lingua franca of that period, for his discourses, giving importance to folk culture and language of the masses. For the ascetics of his school, pursuing the path of detachment with the help of discipline, penance, chanting, and meditation. He also prescribed regular indulgence in activities of social welfare. In essence, we can say that Bhagwan Mahavira was a great personality in the world who made an outstanding contribution to the protection of human values and all living beings. Friends, this was a small introduction to Lord Mahavira so that we can draw inspiration from him. Once again, congratulations and best wishes to all of you on Bhagwan Mahavir Jayanti. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Selva. I'm actually from Malaysia. We also in a situation of on lockdown from our country. We exactly follow what our country is saying, don't go out, stay at home. So we also follow the rules and regulations. But we are in a logistics industry. We also support our government's initiative to transport all the medical products to the hospitals, and my drivers are standby on this particular period. So please guys, please help us to stay at home for us to do the job. Please listen to what your government says. Stay at home. This thing is let the government handle peacefully. Please cooperate. Thank you.
The world is grappling with possibly the worst public health crisis seen in more than a century. The COVID-19 pandemic has gripped nations, compelling governments to impose countrywide lockdowns to contain the spread of the deadly virus. Government of India is taking all necessary steps to ensure the well-being of its citizens. The most important factor in preventing the spread of the virus locally is to empower the citizens with the right information and taking precautions as per the advisories being issued by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and World Health Organization. We share with you one such advisory. Have a look.
If you do not have any respiratory symptoms such as fever, cough, or runny nose, you do not need to wear a medical mask like this one. Mask alone can give you a false feeling of protection and can even be a source of infection when not used correctly. Masks should only be used by healthcare workers, caretakers, or by people who are sick with symptoms of fever and cough. Why? Because healthcare workers and caretakers are in close contact with ill individuals, so they're at higher risk of catching COVID-19. And sick people should wear masks to protect others from small droplets that can come out when they cough or sneeze. So, for healthcare workers, caretakers, or individuals who have fever and cough, this is how you should wear a mask. Before touching the mask, clean your hands with alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. Inspect the mask for tears or holes. Verify which side is the top. This is where the metal piece is. Then identify the inside of the mask, which is usually the white side. Then fit the mask on your face. Pinch the metal strip or stiff edge so it holds to the shape of your nose. Adjust the mask over your face, covering your mouth and chin, making sure there are no gaps between your face and the mask. Do not touch the front of the mask while using it to avoid contamination. If you accidentally touch it, clean your hands. To take off the mask, remove the elastics from behind without touching the front and keep it away from your face. Discard the mask immediately in a closed bin and clean your hands. It is important not to reuse a mask. Replace it with a new one as soon as it gets damp. And remember, the best way to protect yourself from the new coronavirus is frequently cleaning your hands with alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. Stay safe and see you next time.
This broadcast came to you from the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.